On the evening of their 5th wedding anniversary, Rob and Andrea decided to celebrate their love and commitment at one of their favorite high-end restaurants. It was the kind of place that boasted of white tablecloths, an extensive wine list, and an ambiance that promised romance. Rob, eager to show his affection, had spared no expense on a diamond necklace he knew Andrea had been eyeing since her last birthday. The dinner started with laughter and reminiscing about the years they had shared. But as the evening progressed, Rob noticed a shift in Andrea's demeanor. Andrea, a striking 29-year-old with eyes that sparkled with intelligence and curiosity, seemed distracted. Her usual habit of locking eyes with Rob as they talked was replaced with glances at the table, her wine glass, and darting looks around the room. The relaxed conversation they usually enjoyed felt forced, and Rob sensed her nervousness. After the main course, as they sipped on their wine, Andrea's tone shifted to one of seriousness. "Honey, I need to tell you something that's been bothering me," she began, avoiding Rob's gaze. The tone was familiar. It was the one she used when she was about to delve into serious matters. Rob braced himself, his thoughts racing. Was she about to broach the subject of starting a family, something they had discussed but postponed for the sake of their careers and financial stability? He hoped so, despite her apparent reluctance to meet his eye, a gesture he associated with joyful revelations rather than serious confessions. However, what Andrea revealed next blindsided him completely. "I need to explore my life outside of our relationship. I need some freedom to discover who I am, and through that, I believe I can be a better wife for you," she said, her words slicing through the romantic ambiance like a cold blade. Rob's heart sank. The conversation that followed turned their world upside down. Andrea wanted an open marriage. She wanted to see other men. She believed that this exploration was essential for her personal growth and, ultimately, for the health of their marriage. Stunned, angry, and heartbroken, Rob struggled to comprehend Andrea's request. The evening that had started as a celebration of their love ended with Rob walking out of the restaurant, leaving behind not just Andrea, but also the security of the relationship they had built over 5 years. As Rob drove aimlessly, trying to escape the pain and confusion, Andrea's words echoed in his mind. The future of their marriage, once so promising, now hung in the balance, tainted by desires that Rob couldn't understand or accept. The night ended with him alone, trying to piece together what had just happened and what it meant for their future together. In this unexpected turn of events, Rob and Andrea find themselves at a crossroads, with choices to make that could either redefine their relationship or end it entirely. As the story unfolds, they will navigate through their emotions, desires, and the consequences of their decisions, each searching for a sense of self and a path forward. The morning after the disastrous anniversary dinner, Rob awoke in his car, parked in an unfamiliar location. The surreal quality of the previous night's conversation with Andrea made him question if it had all been a bad dream. But as he pieced together the events, the reality hit him with renewed force. His wife, the woman he had loved and trusted, had confessed a desire to open their marriage to other relationships, specifically with other men. This was not a nightmare. It was his new reality. Feeling a mix of anger, betrayal, and profound sadness, Rob's mind raced as he tried to process Andrea's request. Could their marriage survive such a radical change? Did he even want it to? The thought of Andrea with other men ignited a firestorm of emotions within him, ranging from jealousy to disbelief. How had their relationship, once so strong and full of promise, come to this? As he drove aimlessly, seeking solace in the familiarity of the car's movements, Rob realized he needed to confront the situation head-on. Ignoring Andrea's texts and calls, he sought solitude to gather his thoughts and emotions. Finally, stopping at a small diner, Rob found himself sketching out a rough plan on a napkin. He couldn't control Andrea's actions, but he could decide how he would respond to this unprecedented challenge to their marriage vows. The decision to return home and face Andrea was not easy. The drive back was punctuated by moments of clarity and confusion, anger and heartache. When he arrived, Andrea greeted him with a mix of relief and apprehension, clearly aware of the turmoil her confession had caused. Their conversation was tense, with Rob struggling to maintain his composure as Andrea tried to explain her feelings further. She spoke of feeling trapped and unfulfilled, of needing to explore her identity beyond the confines of their marriage. She believed that this exploration was crucial for her personal growth and insisted it would ultimately strengthen their relationship. But to Rob, her words felt like thinly veiled excuses for betrayal. The concept of an open marriage was alien to him, a violation of the trust and commitment they had pledged to each other. The more Andrea spoke, the more Rob felt disconnected from the woman he thought he knew. The rift between them seemed insurmountable, and for the first time, Rob contemplated a future without Andrea. As the conversation reached a stalemate, with neither party willing to compromise, the foundation of their marriage began to crumble. Rob realized that the choices ahead would not only determine the fate of their relationship, but also shape the person he would become in the aftermath of this crisis. In the days that followed, Rob and Andrea lived in a state of limbo, sharing a house but not a life. The once warm and inviting space felt cold and impersonal, a stark reflection of the distance between them. Rob's initial shock gradually gave way to a profound sense of loss, not just for the marriage they had, but for the future they had envisioned together. As Rob grappled with his emotions, he also began to reevaluate his own needs and desires. The thought of being tied to a relationship that had fundamentally changed without his consent was suffocating. Yet the prospect of starting over, of building a new life without Andrea, was equally daunting. In this tumultuous period of self-discovery and confrontation, Rob and Andrea stood at a crossroads. The path they chose would not only determine the fate of their marriage, but also test the very essence of their love and commitment to each other. In the aftermath of their confrontation, Rob found himself navigating a solitude that was both unwelcome and profound. The void left by Andrea's departure was palpable, filling their home with echoes of a happier past. Yet it was within this solitude that Rob began a journey of introspection, questioning not only the foundations of their marriage, but also his role within it. As days turned into weeks, Rob's initial shock and disbelief gave way to a deeper inquiry into the nature of love and personal freedom. He pondered the essence of commitment, wondering if true love was inherently restrictive or if it could encompass the liberties Andrea sought. These reflections led him to seek counsel and perspective outside the confines of his own thoughts. Reaching out to friends and family, Rob sought to understand the myriad ways in which love manifested in relationships. Conversations ranged from empathetic support to challenging debates on the ethics of monogamy and personal fulfillment. Each dialogue, while enlightening, only served to highlight the complexity of his and Andrea's predicament. Simultaneously, Andrea, ensconced in her new environment, embarked on her journey of exploration. Freed from the immediate constraints of her marriage, she delved into new experiences and connections, seeking the validation and self-discovery she believed essential to her growth. Yet each new encounter, while exciting, brought with it a reflection of what she had left behind, sparking moments of doubt and introspection about the price of her freedom. As the distance between them grew, both Rob and Andrea grappled with the duality of their desires, the yearning for autonomy and self-expression against the backdrop of the love and partnership they had built together. This tension, a constant undercurrent to their daily lives, forced them to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and each other. Rob's journey led him to explore literature on relationships, delving into topics of open marriages, polyamory, and the psychology of love. Each book, article, and study offered insights, yet none provided the clear answer he sought. The realization dawned on him that their situation, like all matters of the heart, defied simple solutions. Amidst this search for understanding, Rob encountered a community of individuals who had navigated similar waters. Through support groups and forums, he discovered stories of resilience, transformation, and sometimes reconciliation. These narratives, diverse in their outcomes, underscored the uniqueness of each relationship's path through challenge and change. As the weeks turned into months, the initial tumult of emotions began to settle into a quieter contemplation for both Rob and Andrea. The space that had initially felt like an insurmountable chasm now offered a landscape for reflection on what they each truly valued, desired and needed from their lives and each other. The realization that this period of separation was not merely a pause, but a pivotal chapter in their lives began to take hold. It was a chapter that, regardless of its outcome, would redefine their understanding of love, freedom, and the sacrifices one is willing to make for the elusive promise of fulfillment. In this search for understanding, both Rob and Andrea stood at the precipice of transformation, each poised to make choices that would irrevocably shape the journey ahead. As autumn's palette transformed the world outside, the lives of Rob and Andrea also underwent a profound metamorphosis. The distance that had initially seemed an insurmountable barrier began, paradoxically, to offer a new perspective on the intricate dance of their relationship. It was a period of individual growth and, unexpectedly, a deepening understanding of the nuanced layers of love and partnership. Rob, immersed in his journey of self-discovery, found solace in the rhythms of nature. His weekends, once spent navigating the chaos of a relationship in turmoil, were now dedicated to long hikes and cycling through the vibrant landscapes that surrounded their city. Each mile traversed was a step towards clarity, a meditation on the shifting sands of life and love. It was during one such expedition, as he stood atop a hill overlooking a valley awash with the golds and reds of fall, that Rob experienced a moment of epiphany. The beauty of the world, undiminished by the trials of human hearts, spoke to a resilience and capacity for renewal that resonated within him. He realized that love, in its truest form, was not about possession or constraints, but about wanting the best for the other, even if it meant walking separate paths. Meanwhile, Andrea's explorations into the realms of freedom and self-expression brought her into contact with a tapestry of individuals, each with their own stories of love, loss, and redemption. The exhilaration of new encounters was tinged with moments of introspection as she grappled with the realization that the quest for self-knowledge was as much about confronting one's shadows as it was about seeking the light. One evening, as she sat across from a man whose stories of adventure had initially captivated her, Andrea felt an unexpected pang of longing, not for the man before her, but for the depth of connection she had shared with Rob. It was a moment of clarity, a recognition that while the journey of self-discovery was necessary, it was also inherently lonely without someone who truly understood her soul. This dawning comprehension that freedom without a shared horizon felt hollow prompted Andrea to revisit the memories of her life with Rob. She began to see their past not as a series of limitations, but as a foundation of mutual support and understanding that had enabled her to embark on this journey in the first place. As winter approached, the internal landscapes of Rob and Andrea mirrored the external world's transition into a season of introspection and quietude. The initial storm of emotions had settled into a reflective calm, allowing them to view their relationship and individual desires through a lens tempered by time and experience. It was in this season of stillness that Rob reached out to Andrea, not as a husband seeking to reclaim a wayward wife, but as a friend, acknowledging their shared journey and the growth it had spurred in both of them. The conversation that ensued was marked by a tenderness and honesty that had been absent in the tumultuous early days of their separation. They spoke of their discoveries and the lessons learned in the crucible of their separation. For Andrea, it was an admission of the depth of her love for Rob and the realization that true freedom lay in the ability to choose one's path, not in the rejection of all constraints. For Rob, it was an acknowledgement of the strength found in vulnerability and the understanding that love could encompass letting go. As the first snowflakes of the season began to fall, blanketing the world in silence, Rob and Andrea found themselves at a crossroads. The paths they had walked separately had led them back to a shared understanding, a recognition of the complexity of love and the myriad forms it could take. The decision that lay before them was fraught with uncertainty, yet it was also imbued with the possibility of a new beginning. Whether their futures would converge or continue to diverge was a question that remained unanswered. But for the first time, they faced it with a sense of peace and a deepened appreciation for the journey they had shared. Winter deepened, wrapping the city in its cold embrace, a stark contrast to the warmth kindling in the hearts of Rob and Andrea as they navigated the complexities of their evolving relationship. The shared understanding they had reached was like the first tentative rays of dawn after a long night, promising yet uncertain. It was within this fragile dawn that they found themselves at the precipice of decision-making that would define the contours of their futures. Rob, in his newfound clarity, recognized that love was not a cage but a choice, a daily commitment to support and cherish. He also understood that his love for Andrea was unconditional, not predicated on her presence in his life but on her happiness, wherever and however it was found. This realization emboldened him to propose a series of conversations aimed at exploring the possibility of a future together, one built on the foundations of their new selves. Andrea, for her part, was introspective. The journey of self-discovery she had embarked upon had led her to confront truths about herself that were both enlightening and daunting. She realized that her quest for freedom was, in part, an escape from the fear of not being enough, not just for Rob, but for herself. The experiences she had gathered like pearls on a string had taught her about the diversity of human connection, but also highlighted the rare gem that was the deep, resonant love she shared with Rob. Thus, with hearts open and defenses down, they met on a snowy evening, the fireplace casting a warm glow over the room that mirrored the tentative hope flickering within them. They spoke of fears and dreams, of the pain of separation, and the insights gleaned from their time apart. It was a reckoning of sorts, a stripping away of pretenses to reveal the raw, unvarnished truth of their feelings for each other. Rob shared his vision for a future where they could both be true to themselves while nurturing the bond that had first drawn them together. He spoke of a partnership based on mutual respect, understanding, and the freedom to grow individually without growing apart. Andrea listened, her heart swelling with a mix of hope and trepidation. She voiced her longing for connection and her fear of losing herself in the process. She spoke of her desire to be seen, understood, and loved for all that she was, flaws included. The conversation meandered like a river, touching on practicalities and philosophies, weaving through past hurts and future aspirations. They discussed the concept of an open relationship, not in the physical sense that had first driven them apart, but in the emotional sense of being open to each other's needs, desires, and growth. As the night wore on, it became clear that the journey ahead, should they choose to embark on it together, would require courage, compromise, and an unwavering commitment to navigate the uncertainties of life as partners who respected each other's individuality. The snow outside ceased, and in the silence that followed, a decision emerged, not fully formed but beginning to take shape. They agreed to start anew, not as a continuation of what was, but as an exploration of what could be. They decided to seek couples counseling, not as a remedy, but as a tool to help them build a stronger foundation for their future together. As they retired for the night, the world outside lay blanketed in snow, a tableau of tranquility and promise. Inside, Rob and Andrea faced each other, not as adversaries or as estranged partners, but as two individuals who had traversed the depths of their souls to find their way back to each other. The path forward was not without its thorns, but for the first time in a long while, they felt equipped to face them together. They understood that the true test of their love was not in avoiding change, but in embracing it together. As winter's chill gave way to the thaw of early spring, Rob and Andrea embarked on their journey of reconciliation and renewal with cautious optimism. The decision to rebuild their relationship, forged in the crucible of separation and self-discovery, was now being tested in the everyday realities of life. Couples counseling became a sanctuary for them, a space where they could unpack the complexities of their emotions and desires under the guidance of a compassionate mediator. These sessions were challenging, often laying bare the vulnerabilities they both tried to shield. Yet each conversation, each revelation, served to bridge the chasm that had once seemed impassable. They learned to communicate more effectively, to listen not just with the intent to respond, but to understand. Rob found that his fears of losing Andrea to her quest for independence were mitigated by the transparency and honesty that now characterized their interactions. Andrea, in turn, realized that her freedom lay not in the absence of commitment, but in the choice to commit to a partner who valued her growth as much as his own. Spring's arrival heralded a time of renewal, both in the natural world and in the heart of their relationship. They began to explore new activities together, finding joy in shared hobbies that neither had imagined enjoying before. Kayaking on the river on crisp mornings, taking dance classes on lazy afternoons, and cooking exotic meals together became fixtures in their weekly routines. These moments, filled with laughter and lightness, served to remind them of the love that had brought them together in the first place. Yet, the journey was not without its setbacks. There were days when old fears and insecurities would surface, casting shadows over the progress they had made. On such days, the lessons from their counseling sessions became their beacon, guiding them back to a place of understanding and empathy. They learned to navigate these moments with grace, recognizing them as part of the process of healing and growth. As they worked on their relationship, Rob and Andrea also continued to cultivate their individual passions. Rob found solace in writing, channeling his experiences and reflections into a blog that resonated with others navigating their own relationship challenges. Andrea threw herself into her art, finding new depths of expression in her work that mirrored her journey of self-discovery. Their individual growth enriched their partnership, creating a dynamic interplay between autonomy and intimacy that became the bedrock of their renewed relationship. They discovered that true partnership was not about sacrificing oneself at the altar of the relationship, but about supporting each other's journeys towards becoming their best selves. As spring blossomed into summer, the world around them awash in color and life, Rob and Andrea planned a renewal of vows. It was not a grand affair, but a simple ceremony in the park, where they had first confessed their love for each other. This time, their vows spoke not of untested promises, but of the deep, abiding commitment they had forged through the trials of the past year. They spoke of love, not as a static condition, but as a verb, an action that they would choose day after day. In the presence of a small gathering of family and friends, with the sun setting in a blaze of glory behind them, Rob and Andrea stepped into the future together, their hearts full of hope. They understood that the path ahead would not always be easy, but they were ready to face it together, hand in hand. Summer unfurled in all its vibrancy, mirroring the blossoming relationship of Rob and Andrea as they navigated the intricate dance of rekindling their bond. The renewal of their vows not only marked a recommitment to each other, but also symbolized the commencement of a new chapter in their lives, one characterized by deeper understanding, respect, and love. This period of growth was both exhilarating and daunting. They found joy in the simple pleasures of shared experiences, from lazy Sunday mornings reading in bed to spirited debates over dinner about everything from politics to the latest series they were binge-watching. These moments, seemingly mundane, were imbued with a sense of discovery as they continued to learn about each other in ways they hadn't before. However, the path wasn't devoid of hurdles. The very process of growth meant confronting uncomfortable truths about themselves and each other. Old habits and patterns, once thought to be left in the past, occasionally resurfaced, challenging their resolve and testing the strength of their commitment. Yet, unlike before, these challenges did not lead to withdrawal or confrontation, but were met with a willingness to engage and understand. Couples counseling remained an integral part of their journey, a safe space to navigate these challenges under the guidance of their therapist. It was during these sessions that they learned the art of compromise, the balance between holding on and letting go. They discovered that disagreements didn't have to lead to disconnection, that it was possible to disagree with love and respect. As individuals, Rob and Andrea continued to pursue their passions, but now with a sense of how these pursuits enriched their relationship. Rob's writing flourished, his blog becoming a source of inspiration and solace for many navigating their relationship journeys. Andrea's art, reflective of her inner growth and exploration, garnered attention for its depth and authenticity. Their successes were not solitary but shared, each achievement a testament to the supportive environment they had cultivated. This period of their lives was also marked by a conscious effort to build a community around them. They hosted gatherings, bringing together friends and family in celebrations of connection and belonging. These occasions were a reminder of the web of relationships that supported them, a network that had been strained but not broken during their time apart. Amidst this outward expansion, they also turned inward, strengthening the foundation of their relationship. They established rituals of connection, from weekly date nights to annual trips exploring new destinations. These practices became the pillars of their bond, constant reminders of their commitment to nurturing their love. As summer waned into fall, Rob and Andrea reflected on the journey they had undertaken. They recognized that the work of building a relationship was ongoing, that there would always be new depths to explore, challenges to overcome, and joys to celebrate. Yet, there was a profound sense of contentment in knowing they were on this path together, partners in the truest sense of the word. The turning of the seasons was a metaphor for their relationship, a cycle of growth, renewal, and deepening connection. They understood that love was not a destination but a journey, one that required patience, effort, and the courage to be vulnerable. As they looked toward the future, they did so with hope and determination, ready to face whatever came their way with grace and love. As the wheel of the year turned once more, bringing with it the crispness of autumn, Rob and Andrea stood at the precipice of another transformation. The season, with its tapestry of change, mirrored the evolving landscape of their relationship. They had learned to navigate the ebb and flow of life together, but new challenges awaited them, ready to test the resilience and depth of their bond. Rob received an unexpected job offer, one that would require them to move to a new city. It was the kind of opportunity he had always dreamed of, promising professional growth and advancement. However, it also meant leaving behind the community they had rebuilt, the home they had filled with memories, and the comfort of the familiar. The prospect of this change brought a mix of excitement and apprehension. They approached the decision with the same openness and honesty that had become the cornerstone of their renewed relationship. Through long walks and late-night conversations, they weighed the pros and cons, considering not just the impact on Rob's career, but on Andrea's art, their relationship, and their shared happiness. Andrea, ever supportive, recognized the importance of the opportunity for Rob, but also voiced her concerns about starting over in a new place. Her art had begun to gain recognition in their local community, and the thought of leaving that behind was daunting. Yet in Rob's willingness to discuss and genuinely consider her feelings and aspirations, Andrea found reassurance. Together, they decided to view the move as an adventure, an opportunity for growth and new experiences. The process of moving was a test of their commitment to teamwork and communication. Packing up their home, deciding what to keep, what to let go of, and what to carry forward into their new life was a tangible representation of the choices they had made in their relationship. They approached each challenge with patience and understanding, mindful of the stress and emotions that such a significant change could evoke. Settling into their new city, Rob and Andrea encountered the inevitable challenges of adapting to a new environment. Rob's new job was demanding, often requiring long hours that left little time for them to explore their new surroundings together. Andrea struggled to find her place in the local art scene, missing the connections and camaraderie she had left behind. Yet these challenges also brought opportunities for growth. Rob's new role challenged him to develop new skills and leadership abilities, while Andrea discovered new sources of inspiration for her art, her work deepening in complexity and richness as she navigated her new reality. They made a conscious effort to find balance, to carve out time for each other amidst the whirlwind of change. They explored their new city together on weekends, discovering cozy cafes, vibrant art galleries, and quiet parks where they could reconnect and share their experiences. These moments became the threads that wove their new life together, a tapestry of shared adventures and discoveries. As they settled into their new life, Rob and Andrea realized that the move had not just been a change in location, but an opportunity to reaffirm their commitment to supporting each other's dreams and aspirations. They had learned that home was not a place, but the space they created together, a space of love, understanding, and mutual support. Autumn faded into winter, and as they watched the first snowflakes fall in their new home, Rob and Andrea felt a profound gratitude for the journey they had undertaken. They had embraced change not as a force to be feared, but as an opportunity to grow closer, to build a life that reflected their deepest values and aspirations. As Rob and Andrea settled into the rhythm of their new life, the challenges and opportunities of their relocation began to crystallize into a clearer vision of their future together. The initial tumult of the move gave way to a period of adaptation and growth, revealing the strength of their bond and their ability to navigate life's uncertainties as a united front. Andrea, embracing the spirit of exploration that had led her on this journey, found a vibrant community of artists in their new city. Her art, influenced by the tapestry of new experiences and the landscapes of change, evolved in exciting directions. She secured a small studio space, a sanctuary where she could create and connect with other local artists. The sense of belonging and recognition she had feared losing began to take root in this new soil, nurtured by her openness and resilience. Rob's career flourished in the dynamic environment of his new job. The challenges of his position pushed him to grow in ways he hadn't anticipated, fostering a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. Yet, he remained acutely aware of the sacrifices Andrea had made for this opportunity. This awareness deepened his commitment to ensuring that their relationship remained a priority, a safe harbor amidst the demands of professional life. As they navigated the complexities of their new circumstances, Rob and Andrea discovered the joy of co-creating their future. They embarked on projects that blended their passions and interests, from redecorating their home to reflect their shared aesthetic, to volunteering for causes that resonated with their values. These endeavors became a tangible expression of their partnership, each project a thread weaving the fabric of their shared life tighter. The challenges of distance from familiar networks and the intensity of their new roles occasionally strained their connection. Yet each hurdle served as an opportunity to practice the communication and understanding they had cultivated. They learned to recognize the signs of stress and disconnection early, addressing them with empathy and care before they could escalate. One particularly poignant challenge came when they began to discuss the possibility of starting a family. The question of parenthood opened a complex dialogue about timing, readiness, and the impact on their individual dreams and their collective journey. These conversations were tender and fraught, touching on deep fears and hopes. Yet through this process, they discovered a deeper layer of intimacy and trust, a reaffirmation of their commitment to navigate life's big questions together. As their circle of friends and connections in the new city grew, Rob and Andrea found joy in hosting gatherings that brought together diverse groups of people. These occasions were a celebration of community, an acknowledgement of the network of support they were building far from their original home. The warmth and laughter that filled their home during these gatherings were a testament to their ability to create a sense of belonging, not just for themselves, but for others as well. Through the seasons, as they watched their new city transform from the vibrant hues of fall to the serene blanket of winter, Rob and Andrea reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. They recognized that the strength of their relationship lay not in the absence of challenges, but in their capacity to face them together, to learn from them, and to emerge stronger. As they looked forward to the future with its uncertainties and possibilities, they did so with a sense of optimism and adventure. They understood that the path ahead would be shaped by the choices they made together, by the dreams they dared to dream, and by the challenges they had the courage to face. As the wheel of time continued its relentless turn, Rob and Andrea found themselves reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. What had started as a story of love found, lost, and courageously rebuilt had evolved into a testament to the power of partnership, resilience, and the endless capacity for growth. Their journey, marked by moments of uncertainty and triumph, had led them to a deeper understanding of what it means to love and be loved. They had learned that the essence of their relationship was not found in the absence of conflict, but in their unwavering commitment to face each challenge together, to support each other's dreams, and to grow, not just side by side, but intertwined, their roots deepening with each passing season. The conversation about starting a family, once a source of apprehension, had matured into a decision made from a place of love and readiness. Together, they embarked on this next phase of their journey with open hearts, mindful of the challenges it would bring, yet confident in their ability to navigate them as a team. The prospect of parenthood added a new dimension to their dreams for the future, a shared vision of nurturing life and love in equal measure. Their professional lives, too, had found a rhythm in their new city. Andrea's art had flourished, her studio becoming a hub of creativity and connection. Her work, reflective of her journey and the landscapes of her heart, resonated with a wider audience, earning recognition and accolades that filled her with a sense of accomplishment and purpose. Rob, finding fulfillment in his career, had also discovered a balance that allowed him to prioritize their relationship and the life they were building together. His success was no longer measured solely by professional milestones, but by the richness of their shared experiences and the strength of their bond. As they built their future, the community they had cultivated became a cornerstone of their lives. Their home was a haven of warmth and hospitality, a place where friends, family, and newcomers alike could find a sense of belonging. Through hosting, volunteering, and engaging with their community, Rob and Andrea had created a circle of support and love that extended far beyond the walls of their home. Yet the journey was not without its moments of reflection, times when they would look back on the path they had traveled, marveling at how far they had come. They understood that the process of building a life together was an ongoing act of creation, one that required patience, creativity, and the courage to dream big. As they stood on the threshold of a new chapter, looking out at the horizon of their future, Rob and Andrea felt a profound gratitude for the journey that had brought them here. They had weathered storms and basked in the sunshine of joyous moments, each step forward a testament to their enduring love and commitment. The culmination of their journey was not an end, but a beginning, a promise of continued growth, adventure, and the unwavering belief in the strength of their partnership. They had learned that love, in its truest form, is a journey of becoming, a dance of individual growth and shared discovery. And so, as the story of Rob and Andrea continues beyond the pages of their narrative, they step into the future with the knowledge that whatever it holds, they will face it together, with love as their compass and partnership as their anchor. Their story, a mosaic of moments, challenges, and triumphs, stands as a reminder that love is not found in the absence of adversity, but in the choice to grow through it, together. It is a testament to the enduring power of love, partnership, and the beautiful possibility of building a future. One day, one dream, one challenge at a time. And in the end, the journey continues, not just for Rob and Andrea, but for all who dare to love deeply, live fully, and grow together. Thus concludes the tale of Rob and Andrea, a story of love's complexities, the beauty of shared growth, and the endless journey of partnership. Their narrative, a reflection of the challenges and triumphs faced by many, serves as an inspiration to cherish love, nurture connection, and embrace the journey of growth together.